We have a little over 10,000 students in Anderson 1, about 800 teachers, about 1,000 staff members if you count everybody. We're in the northernmost portion of Anderson County. We have 14 schools, a career and technology center, and an adult education center as well.
And with the census next year, this is supposed to come across as one of the fastest growing corridors of the county. Do y'all see that as something y'all are starting to plan for now?
Absolutely. We have been really growing student enrollment wise for the past probably 10 years. We've had some pretty accelerated growth. We gain anywhere from 200 to 300 students a year. And so we are definitely a very fast growing district. If you drive around the district, you see a lot of subdivisions that are being developed and are being planned. And obviously that's a good thing for the district in that it's a desirable district that people want to move to the area to attend our schools, but it also puts some stress and strain on our infrastructure as far as the amount of classroom space that we have.
And I will get back to that in a minute, but let's first talk about this past year. This time last year we were talking about some of the things you were planning. What are some of the things that you're most proud of that the district accomplished this past year?
Sure. Well, one of the biggest initiatives that we had last year was our building program. We needed a $109 million bond referendum in order to move forward with our building program. The voters in Anderson 1 overwhelmingly approved that. Over 75% of the voters voted yes on that bond referendum. So we'll take that $109 million, which will actually sell the bonds next week. We have $3 million from the fund balance that we're using, that the board set aside in order to use for construction projects. And then we have $20 million that the board has set aside over the next 5 years from our local option sales tax that will also be used in the building program. So in all, we're talking about $132 million building program, and we hit the ground running. Our two middle schools, Wren Middle and Palmetto Middle, we're replacing both of those middle schools, and lots of construction going on at those two sites. We're building the new building on the same site as the old middle school, so that's going along very well. We had some safety and security things that we're doing at all of our schools, but we had 4 schools that did not have secure vestibules, and so Powdersville Elementary, Hunt Meadows Elementary, Spearman Elementary, and West Pelzer Elementary are all getting those secure vestibules this summer. So that should be finished before school starts. And then we had some roof work that we're doing, of course, throughout the district, but we started this summer at West Pelzer Elementary, and that roof work should be done prior to starting school.
What about the schools being under construction now? When do you anticipate them opening?
It's a 32-month process on those 2 schools, so we've got a while, and we're building the new building in phases. So we'll build a building, and then we'll tear down a portion of the new building, and we'll build a little bit more and tear down a portion of the old building until all of the old building is gone except for one section. We have a 10-room wing on each one of those middle schools that's only 10 years old, so we're saving those wings and they'll be incorporated into the new design of both middle schools.
You know, what else from this past school year are y'all most proud of in District 1?
Well, I think one of the things that one of our themes for this past year was that each of us, every member of the Anderson 1 family was going to give 100%, heart and soul. And we made a pledge to do that, and we were going to do that on behalf of the kids in Anderson 1. And I can tell you, there is no doubt in my mind that happened across the district. As I visited schools and visited classrooms, cafeteria staffs, custodial staffs, our bus drivers, our nurses, worked incredibly hard to make sure we had a wonderful environment for kids to be able to be successful academically. So I am certainly very, very proud of that. It looks like things went really well academically for us. The test scores haven't been released publicly, but it certainly looks like our kids performed quite well. Well, obviously, we have a very big building program that we have to manage, and passing that bond referendum was clearly just first step. So there is a lot of time and effort and energy that'll be taken by lots of staff members at the district office and at the school level as we move forward with additions and renovations and HVAC roof repairs, those types of things. We also are really concentrating on our professional learning communities. Essentially, we've got great staff in Anderson One, wonderful teachers, and our professional learning community, as our PLCs, really allow those teachers to work collaboratively to make sure that every student is successful academically. Make sure that those essential standards are not only taught but are actually learned by every student as they move from topic to topic and lesson to lesson. So we've done a lot of professional development on that, and this will be the first full year of implementation of our PLCs across the district. So we're really excited about that. And
now I noticed y'all joined the e-learning bad weather. This will be the first year y'all have done that.
That's
y'all
right.
have joined. I think all the districts except 4 will be doing it this time.
That's correct. We feel really excited to be a part of that pilot study. It's another tool in our toolbox. When we have inclement weather, when the decision is really tough, and a lot of times that decision is very tough, we can certainly look into the toolbox and say this is going to be one of our e-learning days, which essentially the students would be doing their academic work at home through technology versus doing it at school. And we've got some districts around us who participated in the pilot last year who have been through it, have done it, and we've learned an awful lot from them and are excited about rolling that out to our parents and students.
So you already have the technology in everybody's hands, so this won't be, you already have Chromebooks and everything ready to go. All the students have Chromebooks kind of thing.
That's correct. In 9 through 12, all of our students have Chromebooks, and in 3 through 8, all of our students have iPads. And so they'll use that technology in order to be able to do assignments and keep up with their work. Teachers will have office hours that if a student has trouble, they'll be able to contact a teacher. And then obviously if the power goes out, sometimes it's tough to do your work. Students have 5 days in order to complete their work if for whatever reason that day didn't work out, or their technology wasn't charged or something. It is really vital. The Career Center is that true link between school and the world of work and business and industry. Obviously, all of our classrooms attempt to make sure that the lessons and the topics that they go over are relevant to students and they understand why they're learning. The Career Center is just a natural link, and it is a wonderful facility with a great staff over there. Our students love going to the Career Center. The advanced training that they get there is just phenomenal. What students can do when they leave, as far as the options that are available to students once they leave the Career Center, and whatever field they happen to be in, is really amazing.
And it's developed a lot of business partnerships that have tailored training as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I feel like our Career Center, Ms. Harrell, the director at the Career Center, I think does an excellent job of maintaining those business partnerships. And of course, that's part of the mission of the Career Center, is to make sure that it's relevant to the businesses in our area, and the skills and the knowledge that kids are leaving the Career Center with are relevant to our local business and industry, and I think they do a great job of that.
And they've received some national recognition for their programs over the past year as well.
Absolutely has. It is amazing year in and year out when you look at when they go to competitions. Wow, it is just phenomenal how well the students in our district, and of course the Career Center is shared by District 1 and by Anderson 2. And between those two districts, they many times are sweeping the awards at state and national events. Well, I think all of our extracurricular activities are very important. And obviously, athletics are a very big part of that. Band, music, our clubs, drama, or other organizations, I think are really important for students to be involved. When students are involved in schools, other than education, other than sitting in the desk getting the information from the teacher, it makes the experience much more worthwhile for those students. Those students tend to be happier. They even though band practice and athletic practice and practicing for plays, although those take a tremendous amount of time, we find that those students do better academically because they get those leadership skills. There's lots of skills that you gain by being in being involved in extracurricular activities that really help you. Those time management skills. You just don't have time to goof off for 3 hours. You really got to set your priorities, and we find that our students do very well with that. Well, we have 3 areas that we cover. The Williamston, Pelzer area, which are our Palmetto schools, and we have the Wren area in the Piedmont area, which of course are our Wren schools, and then our Powdersville schools are of course in the Powdersville area. And so in the Williamston, Pelzer area, we have West Pelzer and Palmetto Elementary and Cedar Grove are our 3 elementary schools. They all feed Palmetto Middle School, which feeds Palmetto High School. That is a contained feeder system. Those students stay together from pre-K all the way through 12th grade. We have the same scenario in the Piedmont area at the Wren schools, where Hunt Meadows and Spearman and Wren Elementary all feed into one school, one middle school, which is Wren Middle School, which all feeds Wren High School. And same thing at the Powdersville area. We have Concrete Primary, which is the K through 2 school, which actually feeds Powdersville Elementary School, 3 through 5 school, which feeds Powdersville Middle School, which feeds Powdersville High School. Again, a self-contained system. Those students stay together during their entire journey, K through 12. Well, I think one of the things that we always have to look at is what are the course offerings that we have, and what are those pathways that we're offering students as they move through our schools into either a job, business and industry, or into post-secondary. So we are always working with our education partners, with Tri-County Tech, with Clemson, with Anderson University, with all of our local post-secondary education institutions, to try to make sure that we are giving students really good pathways to follow. Just an example, we just met with Clemson and with Tri-County Tech just a week ago about on a bridged pathway to an education degree, where essentially a student would take an assortment of post-secondary courses in high school, which a lot of our students are doing now. They would go to Tri-County Tech for a year, and then would only have 2 years of Clemson education left in order to get their teaching degree. So obviously there's some obvious cost savings to a student and to a parent if you're taking 4 years of, say, Clemson and turning it into 1 year at Tri-County and 2 years at Clemson. through their teacher residence program, a student could actually spend 3 years at Clemson and be through with their master's degree. Those are the types of things that we're looking to. We're looking at. The advanced manufacturing is something that our business and industry in the area are really hurting for employees that have those kinds of skills. And so that's something that we're really looking into. How can we help with that in order to have some preliminary courses at the secondary level, so that it makes that transition much easier, much quicker for students moving into post-secondary and then straight into business and industry as well.
When we talk about this area is growing, if people are moving in here, what's the best place for them to go to find out more information about the school district?
Probably the best place for them to go is the Anderson One website. There's a lot of information in there, just general about the district, as well as the building program and curriculum aspects are there as well. And of course, we're always available at the school level and the district level if people have specific concerns about a particular school, or they can't find the information they need. If they would just contact the district office or contact the individual school, we'll certainly be more than happy to give them the information they need.
And for parents of students here, you use social media, the web, everything to contact them. Is that a regular part of what y'all do?
Well, we do, and we find that these days you have to have multiple ways of communicating with parents in the community. Obviously, social media is one of the best ways that we have. We certainly try our best to communicate as much as we can through social media. We have a calling system that we use for our parents, particularly in emergency situations where we need to get information, an email or a phone call to parents very quickly. We can do that really within a matter of minutes. And so those are ways. And then there are individual schools use some apps, some Seesaw and some different apps that parents find very convenient in order to convey classroom information to the parent.
And I guess the old-fashioned, if parents want to meet with the students, I mean, their teachers, that's always still the best way probably to get to know more about them.
Absolutely, no doubt. We encourage that. We want our parents to know our teachers. We want them to be involved. We are blessed in Anderson One. The vast majority of our parents are very involved in their child's education. Obviously, that is a huge advantage for us to know that mom and dad at home are on the same page at the school, and we all are on the same team as far as helping the student achieve academics.